Number 21 asks us to find the area of the pentagon. So for this shape and any other complex shapes, remember we love to chop it up to more manageable shapes like squares, rectangles, and not circles just yet, but we'll also do triangles. So if I can chop this or decompose it into more manageable pieces, that would be best. So for this larger portion up here, let's try to make a four-sided figure. I have a straight line I can do right here. I'm gonna draw a straight line down right here. Now, the large shape at the bottom is pretty obvious to see. We have a nice triangle. So I'm not gonna worry about that right now. But I just decompose this and I have a four-sided figure here and I have a triangle on both sides here. Now, what I'm going to do is find the area for this figure. I need to know the length and the width. So let's get started there. I see going this way, it's a total length of 6. And that matches up with this down here. Now, don't be thrown off by this 9. That 9 represents this total length. I'm only finding this much. So that's why I only use the 6 that's up here. All right, now let's see how tall it is. If I highlight this, let's see, I don't have a number there, but if I were to take that and try to look anywhere else that matches up with this length, I see that it lines up perfectly right here, which is a length of 6. So I'm going to take this and call it 6. Now, if this one is 6, that means that this side over here on the left is also 6. So on the inside, we have a 6 by 6, which means it's a square. How do you find the area for a square? You simply multiply. 6 times 6 gives me 36. So the area just for this part is 36 feet squared. So 36 feet squared, and we're done with this portion of our figure. Let's go ahead and knock out the large triangle at the bottom. As a reminder, to find the area for a triangle, we say area equals base times height divided by 2, or you can think 1/2 base times height. So what is the length of the base? The base is going straight across right here, and that's a length of 9. The height needs to meet the base at a perpendicular angle, that right angle right there. So this height is a total of 3. So we're going to say 9 times 3. And do not forget to divide by 2. All right. 9 times 3 gives us 27. And then 27 divided by 2. If you can't see it or do the math without a calculator, let's just go ahead and pull up Desmos. 27 divided by 2. 27 divided by 2. That gives me 13.5. So 13.5 represents not the entire area, but just the area for that triangle at the bottom. So let's call that 13.5. It's going to be feet squared. And I'm done with the triangle. So the only part that is left are those two little triangles that are on both sides of that square at the top. Now we could find the area for each one individually, but remember at the beginning of this year when we first introduced our geometry, we said we can decompose and rearrange. So that means that we can cut up a complex shape and we could drag it over to another side. So for this, I'm going to decompose and rearrange this triangle. And if I bring that over, I see that, let's do black, we'll make it a little bit larger. I see that now we have a rectangle. Now for this rectangle, it's easy to see that the length here is 6 feet, but what is this length right here? Well, let's go back to what we did in the very beginning. Remember with this square, we had this length that we measured right here, and we said that the total was 9, but this much of it is only 6. So if this total line segment down here is 9, but this much of it is 6, we simply say 9 minus 6 to get 3, and that represents these two side line segments added together. So if both of those equal 3, then we say 3 divided by 2 gives me a length of 1.5. So 1.5 is that width there. And if I just focus on this rectangle here, I see that the area is going to be length times width. Let's call the length 6. Let's call the width 1.5. And let's just use Desmos to multiply that out. 6 times 1.5 gives us 9. So that is 9. So is my final answer 9? Not quite. Now that we have 9 and the 36 from earlier and the 13.5 from the triangle, we need to add these three values together. Now, I don't think we need a calculator for this. Let's just line it up. Let's make sure 9 is written as a decimal. That's written as a decimal. Your decimals need to line up. So let's add this together. 0 plus 5 plus 0 gives me 5. Bring your decimal straight down. 6 and 3 make 9. 9 plus 9 makes 18. Carry the 1. 1 plus 3 plus 1 equals 5. And let's look for 55 and 5/10. And that is answer choice B.